Namaskar, welcome to my musings. Today I will discuss on this beautiful article, Stand Upon Your Own Head, from this book, Musings of a Monk by Swami Smaranananda, the most revered president of Ramakrishna Math and Mission worldwide. This article is very interesting and it teaches us a beautiful lesson. Standing upon your own head, it means having one's own discretion and following one's own mind. Usually in our society, we are trained to follow others. It's a trend to follow a leader like a flock of sheep, and we are all accustomed to not use our minds. Even our education system also does not teach us how to use our minds. We are trained in such a way that we always follow the prevailing trend, and this way, though we stand on our own feet and become economically independent, we don't know, rather we don't learn the art of training our mind and be fully conscious of the purpose why we have taken up this human body. Every human comes with a certain purpose in this world, and fulfillment of that purpose only is the aim of human life. So training of mind is very necessary to fulfill the aim of human life. And this training of mind becomes easy when we are committed to a high ideal. Being committed to a higher ideal in life makes our mind clutter-free, confusion-free, and also helps us to be fearless in our attitude. What Swamiji says here about training of mind, I'll just read out one short para. Training of the mind becomes easy when one is committed to great ideals. The commitment gives it the necessary drive and direction. As long as there is no great idea to be guided by, so long the mind moves erratically in all directions. It refuses to obey the directions given to it. But commitment to a great ideal with a firm conviction about its truth and an intense desire to attain it makes the mind a powerful instrument. Such a mind strengthens the will, banishes fear, and builds up your personality. It can stand the stresses and strains of everyday life, for the firm conviction helps to develop great self-confidence. As Swamiji says, if we have faith in all the gods but no faith in ourselves, no one can save us. So going by this beautiful paragraph which I have just now read out from the article Stand Upon Your Own Head by Swami Smaranananda, I can say that I have gathered this courage to speak in front of you all by being committed to the higher ideal of conveying my thoughts based on Ramakrishna Vivekananda ideal without any hesitation or fear, in spite of the fact that I am neither a very great orator, not a public communicator, and nor I am a great thinker. I am just an ordinary devotee, but because I am committed to the higher ideal of conveying my musings based on Ramakrishna Vivekananda ideal to the world around me, I have taken up this beautiful mission of spreading good thoughts and productive thoughts to all of you. And this fearlessness and conviction in myself I have gathered because of my commitment to the high ideal of Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement. Now, following the Ramakrishna Vivekananda ideal, it has been my own choice and it has been my own discretion, my own thought process. It was not influenced by anyone from my family or anyone in my known circle. I got interested by the Ramakrishna Vivekananda philosophy using my own discretion, and now I feel that I am committed to this higher ideal of life. So, standing upon one's own head is very necessary. Standing upon one's own feet is also very necessary. Being economically independent is no doubt very, very necessary. But more than that, one should know how to train one's own mind, free it from all clutter and confusion, and get devoted to a higher ideal and stand upon one's own head. Because economic independence or standing upon one's own feet, all these at the fag end of life or in bitter situations of life do not help us much. Every situation in life is ephemeral, it keeps on changing. Unless and until we have a strong mind, a strong faith, strong conviction in our own self, we will not be able to face whatever situation comes in our life. This is the reason one should train one's own mind by getting committed to a higher ideal and realize that the main aim of life is to fulfill a higher purpose, and this is the reason why we are born and we lead a life of a human being. I think my daughter has a question today also, so let us take her question.
Thank you for encouraging me to ask questions. You mentioned that if we have an ideal in our life, then it becomes easier to make our mind concentrated. So can't education system be also considered as an ideal? You mentioned that we are not allowed to think in the current education system. I agree, that's true, but those who want to think will think with the given education system as well, and those who don't want to think will also not think if they go for some ideals, high ideals, and they'll just be restricted to the rituals of those ideals. So that's my question. Why do you say that education system cannot be considered as a good ideal for one's mind?
See what Swamiji has written in this article. Modern education too is teaching how not to think rather than how to think, turning out more and more human automations. Leaders everywhere often want to drive their followers like flocks of sheep. For them to teach men to think is to invite trouble. So it is better to indoctrinate them in such a way that they would repeat worn-out cliché like parrots. But man does not become self-dependent in that way. Therefore, to make men and women think for themselves, it is necessary to teach them how to do so, or in other words, how to stand upon their own head, as we have termed it. So, modern education system, it follows a particular trend. For each and every person, it cannot be the same. The same thought process, it does not exist with each and every human being. Everyone has her own discretion. But modern education system is not like that. You have to choose a particular path.
Right.
Means like a flock only, you have to choose a particular way, particular path, particular system. and then work accordingly. So you don't develop your own thought process. Like about higher ideals. One ideal is set, but we are not following that ideal blindly. According to our own thought process, we are assimilating those ideas and then putting it into use in our daily life. But this is not the case with money-making education. You have to shut up your mind and follow the trend. You have to quiet your mind and then follow the trend blindly.
Or probably you have to be more convicted that your idea will...
It is mainly on borrowed thoughts. Modern education system is mainly borrowed thoughts. Following these borrowed thoughts, one cannot open one's mind very effectively. Setting a higher ideal is something. All great thoughts, they have been already there in existence. But one has to train one's mind to assimilate those great thoughts.
True.
And then chalk out one's own path.
So in any case, I think be it money making or
material, as about any money making or any materialistic goal of life, it can never be the higher ideal. It will never serve the purpose of higher aim in life, because human beings are not made to fulfill materialistic goals. There should always be a higher goal in life which helps our spiritual evolution. We are essentially spiritual beings. So spirituality means inclusiveness. It's not something exclusive. Materialistic goals are always exclusive.
I agree. Yeah, that is true.
You stand upon your own feet and then you fulfill your needs, and you may fulfill the needs of your near and dear ones. But to what extent? To how much extent? How much extent you can help others? But by conveying spirituality, by being on a spiritual path, you can help not only yourself but also others to an unlimited extent. Because this way you are training others, you are helping others to train their own minds, and they can follow their own path. There is no set goal or set path. It is not a set process. Every human is free to think of his or her own by following a particular high ideal, because it gives you enough freedom.
Right. And I like the fact that you chose that you want to take initiation for this ideal. You want to get initiated into this ideal. So I think that whatever higher ideals also we are choosing, given so many options in today's world, we should be first standing upon our own head in that case, at that step, and then of course from there the journey actually starts.
Yes. In materialistic life also, in worldly life also, you have to first stand upon your own head. You have to make your own decisions. You have to know for sure what you want in life. You have to train your mind, and then only you can choose the path whichever is necessary for fulfilling your aim. Without mind training, nothing is possible. But one problem is there in materialistic world. Your mind will be trained in such a way that it will be exploring only limited scopes.
True.
Unlimited freedom, like carving out a sky for oneself, being inclusive and setting a higher ideal and higher goal of life. It is not possible through a materialistic way.
I agree. It's limited.
Yes. Human mind and human body are in limited scopes. But spiritually, no one is limited. Even if we have limited potentials, then also we are unlimited only in exploring those potentials.
I agree.
We have got immense power in oneself. By sticking to a higher ideal, we will never have any failure. We will only succeed in life. And this success is fulfillment of the purpose for which we have taken this human life, human body. We should aspire for higher goals, because by following a higher ideal, a simple housewife will be an extraordinary housewife, a simple fisherman will be an extraordinary fisherman, a simple professional will be an extraordinary professional, because he or she will explore his or her full potential
Right.
and realize the main aim of life. That is why Swamiji has told in this article that sticking to a higher ideal, like getting committed to a higher ideal set by great personalities who have dedicated their lives for the betterment of humanity, one can easily train one's mind. So we should follow the ideals of great personalities and then try to assimilate those ideals and train our minds in such a way that our thought process is very clear and we stand upon our own head and live a life of fulfillment dedicated to the betterment of mankind. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.